Okay, let's hope that's us rolling. I'll make myself bigger so you can see me while I'm talking to you. A couple of tech things to do, then I'll explain stuff like this. First tech thing to do is actually just check to see if I've appeared on YouTube, which I have a slightly different setup to normal today. Don't be alarmed. But I'm using my iPad for Xer and my phone to do other stuff. I want to make sure, oh, cool, I'm there. So, hey, there's people here. I'm going to say hello. Hello. There you go. I have said hello. Good morning from Switzerland, from Vloggy Strom. John Edge is here. Howdy, folks. Tech Toby, TT. I'm here, Tech Toby. I'm here. I was a little bit late. I couldn't try to think what I forgot today. I've forgotten the cable. In fact, I better check that this is going to work because I've only got 10 minutes to fix it. The cable to attach my iPad to the Mac. Hang on, let me see. File, new movie recording, and hopefully it will pick up John's iPhone camera. Oh no, why aren't you seeing the iPad? The problem is if I start to mess around with it, oh, why have you gone up there? If I start to mess around with too many connections, what I don't want is for OBS to drop out. The camera, the main camera to drop out. Why is it not seeing that? How am I going to do this? Because also, annoyingly, my phone didn't charge overnight, so... Sorry, I know I'm talking in hushed tones now, because I'm thinking what to do. My option is to try and launch an Xer on the Mac and hope that they've fixed... I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try this and hope that they've fixed the connection thing with the PM5, because there's been an issue where... First I can disconnect you then. There's been an issue where on a Mac, when I've been rolling on it anyway with Xer, it would just keep on dropping out. I'm still going to plug my phone in so I can try and charge. Hopefully that's not killed. Am I still here? Yes, I'm still here. Very fragile. I mean, these USB-C connections on a Mac are great, but they can be a little bit fragile sometimes. It doesn't take much for them to mess up. Right, so the reason I'm kind of juggling around tech, a software update's required. No. Is because I'm also going to jump on Discord this morning. I'm closing all my apps. Craig, I've got a lot of apps open. Blimey. There we go. Discord. So someone was in touch asking if there was a way to hear me while I'm on Xer, but not actually have to do the YouTube thing. And I said, well, I used to do Discord, but there's only one person that was connecting to it, and actually it's my fault. I just stopped broadcasting to it. I forgot one time, then got out of the habit of it. Voice channels. So nope. Let's turn the sound down. So I just got out of the habit of going on Discord, but someone had asked if they had, so I've got my little earbuds today, and I'm going to try and do that. Now let's see, searching for rowers. In fact, let's. What do I need to do? Hang on. Let me just connect that first before it drops away. Right, add new OS screen capture. And all goes to that. Application capture. Application. Oh, it's because I've not done that. Oh, come on. Xer always goes into full screen, which obviously it wants to, but the streaming software I use then doesn't see it. Application. Do you see it now? No. Oh, come on. Oh, everything's just so... It would also be handy if this thing actually saved its configuration from week to week. macOS screen capture, yes. Back to that. Application capture. Yes. Xer. There we go. Just set up Windows there, just don't resize it. That's better, isn't it? It's very loud, Xer, isn't it? When it first comes up, if I don't forget to turn the volume down. All right. Does that put me kind of in the right place? Right, so you don't need to be running that anymore. I can actually go on to the YouTubes on there. Oh, crikey. I'm like Jean-Michel Jarre doing so many things at the same time. Right, okay, so you're like that, but I need to go behind me. Yay! There's me. Hi, Mom, I'm on TV. Right, RowAlong data, continue. Just quickly starting up my watch next. My chat is amazing this morning, isn't it? We'll get there in a second. How long? I've got 5 minutes. Go ahead, we're fine. All right, so using my Garmin today, as you can see. Oh, I've obviously messed up my green screen a bit. You can see. I wonder if I can fix that. Oh, let's see how bad it looks. Hang on. Right, let's go for that. Okay, so let's see. You can see me, hear me. You can see Xer in the background. So I've still got to set up my headphones for Discord and join voice, but that's okay. Good evening from far north Queensland, Australia. Hello, Julie Bailey. How are you? Nice to have you here. Who else? Vloggy, Pierre, Jolivier? Jolivet? Jolivet? Is that a hard T? Who knows? Right, yes, that big thing. Right, how long have I got? 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to stand up and my head pokes out the TV. Right, look. See what's the problem here. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. Is that I've got the WaterRower stacked up against the wall. And look at this. So if I do this, I'll be a disembodied head, won't I? You know, if I get low enough. See? Look at that. It's like I'm not here. The magic of green screen, eh? Just is so much. Ugh. It just makes life so much easier doing it all on green screen, I'm afraid. Especially when it comes to. Right, there may be a couple of shadows in that make it a bit ugly. Yeah, you can still see. There's a shadow there, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was before. It just looks like a screen tear rather than anything else, so I hope that's okay. I am freezing this morning. Buenos dias, amigos. Buenos dias, David Palos. Oh, come on, would that be Vamonos or Vamos? If it's let's go for everybody, that'd be Vamonos, wouldn't it? That's my Dora the Explorer level Spanish coming out there, because that's what she used to always say, wasn't it? She'd say to Map and everyone else, she'd go, Vamonos, say Map, say Map. Of course, Dora the Explorer is the most mistitled girl in the world, because she always had a map. Don't know if you've ever watched Dora the Explorer, but she always had a map. You're not much of an explorer if you need a map for everywhere you go, are you? Explorers go places that haven't been mapped. Right, 1.5 minutes to go. Just tied my laces up. Always been a bit of a jolting start to today. Right, I'll stick on my earbuds quickly. I don't know. Nobody here yet, but I'll do it anyway. Group rowing, join voice. Okay, right, so I'm there. Just gonna turn the volume right down. Okay, so just for, if you're interested in it, hi all, I'm right in front of you. If you're interested in the Discord thing, oh, there we go. There's, yeah, there we go. So there's chatting away on Discord to, I can't remember, was it Richard or Robert? I can't remember because you just come up as R, and to be honest, I can't remember. It's too, I'd have literally just messaged you about it like 20 minutes ago. All right, 30 seconds to go. Swig of ambition. Now, I'm going to do what we always do, or what I always do, which is start off nice and gentle to warm up, let my body get moving and things, and then I'll worry about intensity. I'm a little bit concerned that my mac's a little bit too close to my machine, so I might have to stop after 30 seconds and move it out of the way, but we'll find out. Right, so remember there's a delay between YouTube and Xer, so I'm going in 10 seconds. So look at Xer if you're rowing, rowing at that hen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, like I say, see, it's still got that connection issue. Is it going to actually kick in, or am I dead in the water? Now that's disappointing. Well, there we go. Yep, so that was, how long was that? 20 seconds, and I stopped, so still having that problem. Right, I'm not going to talk about that, because it's going to be a very boring half hour if I keep on talking about Xer not connecting properly. So what you'll see is that if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll stop, and then I'll suddenly speed up, blast past everybody, and then I'll stop again. So just get your body moving. We'll spend kind of, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes, and just let your body, like I said, I don't know if you, possibly you haven't done a warm-up first. I know I didn't. I was too busy messing around with my technology. And so you need to just let your body know. It is Ronnie Downey dressed up in RowAlong kit. Very nice. Let your body get used to the fact that you're going to be exercising, that regardless, even a 30-minute low intensity workout is still a great workout. If you're doing, what am I at, 21 strokes a minute, if I hold this for 30 minutes, that's 630 strokes, which means that many leg presses, that many arm pulls, that many connections of the legs to the arms through your posterior chain. So you want to make sure your body is happy doing that. And so spending the first 4 minutes or so, if you haven't already warmed up, just finding your rhythm, going through the flow of the stroke, finding your angles, letting your body open up bit by bit, a little bit more, will make sure that you will either survive the 30 minutes or perform or whatever. Whereas if you just sit down and start mashing out a 30-minute, that's where there's a good chance of injury and stuff. Now I'm, in the moments you can see me actually rowing on Xer this morning, you can see I'm at round about 207, 208 pace. I'm still taking it, or I am taking it a bit easy this morning because I did a really nasty training set last night for high rocks. It was 500 meters row, 20 lunges per leg, 500 meters ski, 15 burpee broad jumps, 8 times, with 30-second rest between each set. and it was like an hour and 5 minutes. And I was probably like, I was almost rolling around on the floor at the end, I was so tired. So, this morning's row has to be a recovery row. There's no way I'm gonna stress my body and even attempt sprints. In fact, actually, that's one of the good things about the fact that my connection with EXA is playing up, because there's no point me doing any sprints trying to race someone when he's playing up like this. Don't know what it is. The EXA folks, they say it's not their end. Anyway, I said I wouldn't talk about this. So, here we are, 5.5 minutes in. I definitely feel a better flow. Now, as being everything's messed up, I'm going to take a moment to take my top off, or my shell, not my top. Oh, come on. Right. Back I go. Sorry about that. Suddenly realised, I was like, quick, I'm getting quite warm here. And then I went, oh, it's because I've got my training shell on. Because it still is. It's like 6 degrees outside, but it doesn't take long for this studio to warm up when I'm rowing in it. And actually, it's funny how just stopping for 10 seconds, I actually feel a lot more fluid and flowing now that I'm back into rowing again. It's weird that, isn't it? It's like if you had a rusty door and you're opening and closing it, trying to free it off, and you're kind of spraying WD-40 on it. It's not making any difference. And then you leave it for a couple of minutes, come back to it, and the WD-40's done its work, and it's suddenly free. Not that I had any WD-40. Anyway, there's a diversion for you. Let's just go through the basics of technique. Try, as I go through this, to analyze what you're doing and see if you're doing what I'm saying. Because a lot of the times, people think they are, but they're really not. And that starts with hands away first. So once you finish your stroke, pull the handle into your chest, and then at the same pace and rhythm that you pull the handle into your chest, I want you to release it at. So a nice fluid in, out, in, out. You're dancing with the machine. You're not throwing, jerking it away from you. Still has to come out nice and quickly, but not in a big jerk. So you finish, hands away. If you're watching on YouTube, just look at me. I'm not saying I've got the perfect stroke, but if you look at my arms, nice and fluid, and then the arms away trigger your forwards rock of your upper body over your hips. So arms rock. Arms rock. And as you're doing that arms rock, your knees should still be down. Maybe a soft bend to the knees, but that's it. Your knees aren't popping up until hands are past and you're in that forwards rock. Because once your hands are away and you've rocked forwards, you're in the right position for your next stroke. Which means all you have to do is bend your knees to roll into the front of the machine, but nothing should change about your arms and back. And I'm not that big an advocate of dropping the handle, like scraping it down your knees, because I think that develops bad habits. Because when you lift the handle back up, what happens to most people is that as they lift the handle up, they lean back at the same time. They lose the forwards tilt of their upper back. That's not good from a power into the machine point of view, from a effectiveness of workout point of view, and also from an injury prevention point of view, because if you are pushing hard with the legs while leaning back, all of that power goes into your lower back. It's like a fulcrum point almost. And that can really hurt your lower back. Whereas when you push with the forwards tilt, then the power goes up through your posterior chain, your core, shoulders, arms, and then your hands brace against the handle. And it's your core that is racing against the power, or is a conduit of the power, rather than your lower back. Anyway, so hands away, keep a nice straight line as you return. So try and follow pretty much the straight line that you pull out from the front. Send the handle back towards the front again. But arms, body, knees, get into the front with straight arms and a forwards body rock, and then hold that rock and straight arms as you push the machine away from you with your feet. So don't think about pulling the handle. Think about pushing the feet first and then finishing the stroke by pulling on the handle. Again, as I pass Ronnie Downey, it's a good time to say that people have different needs, different techniques sometimes, like the high rocks world. I know from my experience last weekend that the rowing you do on the high rocks floor isn't the same, or can sometimes be different to what you're doing in training. Because by the time I got to the row stage last weekend, I was, well, let's just say exhausted from everything that had gone before. And so I was slowing down stroke rate to about 24 to give cardio a rest, but I was pushing a lot harder with the legs to make up for the slower stroke rate. The downside of that was that even though I was just doing the middle 500 of it, my legs ended up like jelly by the end, so I think I would have been better using my backswing and arm pull more to give my legs a rest. But that's only in high rocks, or possibly, say you're rowing a half marathon and your legs start to feel a bit overused. You can think about taking like 5 strokes at a different ratio. So instead of 60% push with the legs and then like 30 or 25% swing with the back, and then the rest is a pull, you can just connect with the legs and then really launch with your back and pull in with your arms. And that actually will take the load off your legs. It probably will add to your cardio toll a bit, but no one ever said rowing was easy. So yeah, that's what I went through last week. It's a good race though. High Rocks London, my second doubles of the year. Martin and I went faster than we did a few weeks before in Manchester. So happy with that. And then the week coming, or weekend coming, is the 14th, so Saturday, next Saturday. I'm off to Frankfurt for my first singles of the year, which I'm a little bit unsure about, as I've picked up some pretty wicked Achilles tendonitis after last weekend's High Rocks. I do think running around in those anti-clockwise laps, always turning on my left ankle, don't think that's good for it. So I've not been able to run since I got back. I've been rowing, skiing, cycling, but no running until this clears up. I'm not going to risk aggravating it, so even if I don't get a chance to run before the race, I'm just going to have to hope that my rowing, skiing and cycling is enough to make up for it. Anyway, sorry. So, you push with the legs, holding arms straight and a forwards tilt, push. And I want you to keep arms straight, and that forwards tilt as you push. Only when your legs are about halfway through their push do you open your back and swing over your hips. And then only when your back is coming to a finish do you finally pull with your arms and squeeze that extra bit of power. Now if you're in a concept 2, you can press the second button down on the monitor. It'll show you the force curve. And there's lots of chat about perfect curves and things, but really the thing to look out for is how smooth it is. Other machines have force curves too. The Smart Row on a WaterRower, the RP3, so check and see if you have one. But what you want is basically a nice, smooth hill. So it goes up, you want a nice peak, and then comes down. But the important part is that it's not like a mountain range. You don't want it to be jagged, lumpy, bumpy. So even if it's not as high as you might see from other people, or doesn't go up as sharp, as long as you have a smooth curve up and down, then that shows that you are accelerating the legs in, then adding your back at the right time, and your arms just finish off the power as you pull in. It's worth taking a look at if you have a force curve. Because again, it's all about speed, efficiency, and possible injury prevention. If you have a really jerky, janky rowing style, that's where all the jolts and lurches can cause injury, or at least can create niggles, which then lead to injury. Anyway, so that's the stroke, and then you pull in to your chest, squeeze shoulder blades together, and then handle comes away, body rocks forward, knees bent. Just rinse and repeat. And then it's down to knowing yourself and also your training goals or intensity for the day. Because I'm rowing 21 strokes a minute, 2:05 pace, and this is a comfortable pace for me. 136 heart rate. That's about, I don't know, 75% maybe. Zone 3 anyway. But I could easily just plug along here for an hour, talking away, and I'll get a great workout, but I won't be rolling around on the floor afterwards in exhaustion. Whereas, say I took this
up to 26 strokes a minute and another 10 seconds faster. Come the end of the half hour, I would be rolling around on the floor. That would be like time trial, almost. So, rowing isn't about just one stroke rate, one intensity. It's about marrying stroke rate and the amount of force that you're putting in to the machine. Is that force low intensity, tempo, high? So that will all change your training day, and then when you start to look from day to day and vary your intensity, so long, low intensity rows, short, high intensity rows, then that's where your improvements come from. Everyone can get better. You just need focus, dedication, a little bit of sensible planning too, making sure you're not just mashing every workout thinking that that's the way to get better, because what happens is you get strong and fast over like 20, 30 seconds, but your foundation fitness that needs to shore all that up is like really lacking. Like you wouldn't build a magnificent golden roof and then balance it on a couple of 2x4s. And strong foundations. It's the same for everything. Everything I've ever done, from squash to cycling to rowing, and now the running element of high rocks, I've always addressed foundation fitness first and then layered performance on top. The trick is just don't be impatient. The first high rocks I did was an hour 34, as I was still developing my strength and fitness for it, whereas the last one I did was almost 20 minutes quicker at 1:15, because I'd built, in the space of like a year and a half, 2 years, I'd built that fitness and foundation strength to get through the race. Fair enough, 20 strokes a minute, 2K plus 18 to 20 row isn't going to win you any medals, but it's what will give you the ability, I suppose, the fitness to get into those races where you do win the medals. Like Rick yesterday, the British rowing indoor champs, there were a few RowAlongers there, or people who are on the RowAlong Facebook group anyway. But Roger Rivali, he won gold in the 500 meters 50 lightweight. Andrew Fielden was racing, Heidi was racing. So it's a great avenue to use your rowing training when you actually have a goal, a focus, a race, or like maybe you've got a half marathon planned, or even the 12 rows of Christmas playlist that I have on the YouTube channel, and that I have a splinter Facebook group for. It's a great way to get through your rowing. Have a focus, have a plan, have a series that you can work through. So, right, well, that was a weird excerpt because of the stopping and starting, but hopefully you're okay with it. Make sure you keep moving up and down. Hang on, I've got new to this and started following a RowAlong program. I wanted to see the RowAlong Sunday. Is this the expected exit? Seems like John's avatar is just hanging over the. I know. An unfortunate first one for you to see, Niels. It's cause there's a problem with my Mac connecting to the PM5. The Bluetooth info just doesn't transfer, and I don't know why. So that wasn't the excerpt in its best light, I'm afraid. But if nothing else, what I meant was that, because usually in that kind of a row, I'm in the kind of, say, the top third of people. And so I kind of hang up there and I don't really see the other people. Whereas today, because of how that worked, I gradually worked my way back down through the crowd. So I think I got to row with everybody that was on there today. So that was nice. Right, I'm going to, apart from this, M. Isaac. He comes to me. Do I have, doesn't say how many, I didn't catch how many people were on the water today. But that's you can see the steady row for me, around about 2:05 pace. See, it still recorded everything, but for some strange reason, it just didn't go through. Although I also thought I only did 13 minutes, so maybe it didn't record everything. Anyway, stop rowing. That'll be an interesting one, because it still says I did 7 kilometers in 13 minutes, so someone's going to get in touch with me and say, hey, you really should row in the Olympics. Right. CBDB says this, yes, normally much better. Love coming out for this, even if it's just joining via YouTube. Yeah, and it's lovely to always have you here, CBDB. It's always like, I mean, so many. There's Matthew Isaac there, doing the holiday challenge, so we'll do a long row down to the end. That's what he was doing as he passed. Paul Edwards says, my biceps have shrunk. And I think they have, actually. Like, I've not been, because I've taken the week off because of just trying to let my body heal. I didn't really want to be pushing weights hard, and then my body's kind of, because again, when you get to my age, your body kind of picks and chooses what it's going to be improving and healing and changing. So if I'm sitting there hitting biceps, and my body's like, oh, I have to try and get bigger biceps, whereas I'm trying to let my body focus on this Achilles tendon that's, let's say it's got tendonitis. So, but yeah, they'll be back. Don't worry, I'll start. But the beard's here. That's the other thing. The beard. This is probably the last outing of my Wolverine chops. The beard that I grew for last week's High Rocks. I think today I'm going to go, because my hair looks ridiculous. Today I'm going to go for a haircut and shave it off. So I was thinking about keeping it until Frankfurt, but I think I'll just shave it off. It's time it went. Tecto, we just bought a Santa hat. Well done. Pierre's his first time, fantastic. Again, sorry for the glitch for me. Nick, never looked at the power curve feature before. Thanks for the tutorial, John. So really, ideally, what you wanted to do is kind of come up really like steep and sharp, because that's lots of power in. So steep and sharp, and then it holds a nice curve across the top, and then it should come down nice and sharp as well. The most important thing is that it doesn't squiggle. If you see like lots of kind of jerks, then that's when you're putting in your 3 power phases. If you see a kink in it, that's as you're going from legs to body to arms. And then there's other things like if you're missing the backswing, what you tend to have is it kind of just goes up and then it'll kind of just fade really quickly. You won't have that curve, because the curve is created by when you add in your back, it keeps the power up as your legs fade. So if it just goes kind of diagonal, like straight line up, straight line down, that's you basically just going legs, arms, and So yeah, so you're aiming for basically it's like an upside down U shape is what you're really looking for. Like if you had a cereal bowl and turned it on its end. Ronnie says, cheers. The rest of my day will setting for roof ridge tiles. See this, the importance of a good foundation. I assume that's that. I wonder if that's to do with the storm that we've been having. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's the end of our stories today. I think. No, John says thank you. Ta much. It's called a bell curve. I suppose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll try it. Yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it? Although so my havering here is that a bell kind of has that kind of flared edge, but you're right, it's a bell curve, because if you think about like marking curves, kids at school, it's a bell curve. So I will bow down to your expertise and start calling it a bell curve. But yeah, that's what we want, a bell curve. There we go. As usual, it's a great row. It's a pleasure having you here, TT and TechToby. Have a nice Sunday, all. TechToby.info. That's what his username is. Oh, no. So I might go on there and see what it is. Hope it's a good website to go to. Anyway, right, I'm going to save session. Still doing that. It was on an error. Maybe this time? Who knows? Just had you sitting there on an error screen. Right, I forgot to say goodbye to Discord fella. Oh well, how rude. There you go. Right, okay, I'm going to turn this off then. Right, so everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Next week, is anyone still here watching? Yeah, there's 21 of you watching, so I'll say goodbye for this. Next week, I'm in Frankfurt on racing on Saturday. I fly home, the flight's at 10 o'clock in the morning to fly home from Frankfurt. It's only a 2-hour flight, so I should be able to make it for the 5 o'clock sunset row that happens. Apologies if I don't. It'll still be, I'll have a live stream set up, and it'll still be on Extra and whatever. I will try my best. I'll have everything set up before I leave for Frankfurt, so it'll just be like this. I can kind of basically run in, and if it's like 5 to 5, I can run in, sit down and start rowing. But I'm going to do everything I can to be here next Sunday. Apologies if I'm not, but I'm going to do everything I can. It should be, unless the flight's delayed, it should be. And I'll post on Facebook and stuff if there's going to be a problem. But yeah, anyway, right, everybody have a fantastic Sunday. What am I doing? Apart from getting a haircut, a couple of extra Christmas decorations and things, I've got a nice lazy Sunday ahead of me today. So it's the last week for me editing This Farming Life. I've been editing BBC Two farming program. I've been editing this since March. And this week is my last week on it. Why do you care? Well, because I'm then taking a couple of months to just focus on RowAlong. So I'm going to, because you'll maybe notice on the channel, I've not really been making that much content, the odd high rock stuff, but I've not really been making that much content, mostly because I don't like making content for the sake of content, all right? You see lots of people are out there that just churn stuff up there just because they want to get their views up and stuff, and that's not what I'm about. However, over the next couple of months, I'm going to really try and kind of boost my YouTube presence by making a whole bunch of videos. There's going to be the row beats I'm going to go back into again. If you've not seen them, that's where it's basically just rowing workouts, but it's got like music in the background because sometimes people want music. Hopefully the Aviron people are going to get the Aviron bike to me soon, and I can start making the Aviron, the pedal along workouts. And then I'm going to just do like reviews and technique and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm really taking time to really focus on people. So if there's any content you're looking for, if there's something that you want, just get in touch. Ask me and I'll kind of work out if there's a way to do it. I've had lots of requests for stuff. Some of it I can do, some of it I can't. But I'll try because, like I say, I'm kind of taking off time. RowAlong and training for high rocks and things is really how I'm doing it. But I've kind of just thought, I've been working like an absolute beast all year, taking hardly any time off, so that I could give myself basically December and January to really focus on RowAlong and see if I can kind of try and grow it a bit, because it's kind of just hitting me. I'm trying to see if I can. So anyway, right, I've just lost 3 viewers by going through all that, so sorry about that. Maybe you just got bored of my chat. Just focus on RowAlong? Yeah, looking forward to it. Cool, thanks TT, that means a lot. Good luck next week. Oh, thanks, Ronnie. And Tobias says, as usual, thanks. Cool, you get the last one, Tobias. Thank you so much for being part of my Sunday morning and allowing me to be part of your Sunday morning. Have a fantastic week ahead. I will hopefully see you next Sunday. Until then, be well, row well. Bye-bye. Now I've got to click the button. Shh, don't tell anyone about this bit. Because it was quite a good outro there, wasn't it? It was very kind of emphatic. I ran in quite nicely, and now I've got to go through all this. So stop streaming. And says, do you want to? So anyway.